Hello everybody, this is Chloe, Nature Sensitive and Oracle. I need to do a video about spirituality and spiritual path combo I kind of do, but this one is about I was doing some errands yesterday. I got some sad news. I don't really want to go into all that. But for a pick-me-up, and I had kind of already planned to go to this store at Barnes & Noble anyways. I had been having a feeling since about Friday that if I went to Barnes & Noble, there was going to be something I really, really would love and like to get and really enjoy. And it turned out that it was the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle. This is a second edition. The creator is Jane Struthers. And it's called an Inspirational Cards for Wisdom and Guidance. And the nice thing about it is the original packaging from the first edition was the kind that was like the top part of the section of the box you would take off, like a kind of an old Crayola box, but instead of lifting this way, it was a full takeoff piece. It was similar to the packaging on the Celtic Animal Oracle done by Anna Franklin, I think her name was. Another deck you might know, if not that one, would be the Enchanted Lenormand by Matthews. Kate Matthews? I don't remember. Matthews, somebody. One of that set that does a lot of Celtic stuff. Yeah, so the new packaging I actually like a bit better. This is one of the trees in the deck, the Surgi, or Sudgy, I don't know. I'll find the card and show it to you. I love the tones. It has kind of a soft, illustrative look. The nice thing about this deck is that they gave some sample illustrations to give you a sense of what you were getting, and though they are very colorful, they're not even at this time. I don't feel like they just put the prettiest and best in the deck, so I really like that they represented it well. This is the one thing I love about this deck. Not that I don't love my other tree oracle decks. I only have maybe 2 or 3 others, and they are mostly focused on the Celtic Oham system with the trees. I have the Voices of the Trees as my most recent buy, and then I also have the Green Man Oracle. And in the Green Man Oracle, it has kind of like face impressions into the body or leaf branch work of the trees, and again, it's still focused on like the Celtic Oham system. This is not doing that at all. This is taking trees from around the world and from around the globe and different cultures. If you've had this deck before, you know that it's trying to share nature and how we interact with the trees culturally, basically. It shares a bit of mythology, a bit of history, and it also shares the locations of where these trees live and prosper. So, yeah. And they talk about in this deck that first there's 40 beautifully illustrated oracle cards, a practical full-color handbook that explains how to read them and understand their deeper meanings and integrate their messages into every aspect of your life. Isn't that nice? That's what the kit contains. So it says here that they hope these ancient wisdom of the trees, to help you use the ancient wisdom of the trees to gain new and profound levels of awareness about yourself, your relationships, and where you're heading. So that's kind of cool. And I really love nature decks, so I thought, hell yeah, let's pick this up. The biggest difference, like I said, is the box and the book. Okay, the book is no longer hardbound. It's in a really lovely use of one of the pictures in the deck, and the bind has like a solid color on it with the title, Using the Wisdom of the Trees Oracle, and Jane Struthers. All right. It's not a very long book, but I do think it's well put together. The previous book, I watched a YouTube video because I haven't owned this deck before in the first edition. The illustrator is, I hope I'm saying your first name right, Murayla or Morella Allwood. I don't know. Allwood. Mrs. Allwood. All right. The one thing you'll notice if you haven't gotten this deck before, and if you have, you know that it's color coded into 4 sections. I like that. I love that there is no white border to trim off. There is only a small border. It's not overwhelming. It doesn't take up all the space. It's just a way, it's part of the coding system for this deck. Blue is roots. Okay. Blue is roots. And I love that my favorite tree is in here. Let's see. Willow, there you are. My favorite tree. The willow. I have other trees that I like, but willow is honestly my favorite tree. I have a lot of pine and oak, and I think there may be even a cypress around my house. I have a lot of trees ringing my house, literally. I'm in kind of a forest area here, a neighborhood forest. So the next section, so the blue is roots, and it's called being. Somebody in another video commented that they didn't understand why they use blue for roots, because they would have thought brown for roots. And I was like, blue actually works because that's where they get water. Yes, the water falls on the tree from the sky, blah, 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 but they don't suck it in through that direction. They suck in the light energy through the leaves, right? The bark of the trunk is a protective thing, an outer skin and all that. It is where all the fluids and everything streams through in the tree itself, so for the trunk of the tree, right? That's usually brown or some other earthy tone variation, depending on the tree. But the roots, that's where they get all their chemicals, where they get their water, where they get all that stuff. So blue makes sense to me, especially if you look, like I said, at my favorite one, willow, and it is right by a stream that's so close to this tree and the ground that it's rooted in, that it makes sense. Okay, so that makes sense to me. Now brown as the trunk of the tree makes even more sense to me. Okay, because many, if not all, trees have some variation of brown as their trunk. And this silver birch is an exception, as it's more of a silvery gray color. So I get that. I do get that. There you go. Sorry. I love that there's like spirals in this picture. Sorry, my lighting's a little awkward here. It's natural lighting, so it should be better than most. Hornbeam. I don't even know what hornbeam is. Evidently they use it a lot for building tools and other things, which is why they have like a stool with tools down there at the bottom. There's an Indian bean. I didn't even know that was a tree. I don't really associate beans with trees, but there you go. I guess I don't know a lot about camphor either. I was really happy to see it in here, but I didn't know it came from a tree. I guess it's like bark, or who knows? I'm going to have to research that. Ash I am familiar with from the Celtic system. I love that there are seasonal pictures. It isn't just all bright and sunny. This is like a wooded scene. So for me, if I was doing a reading and I got this, I would say, oh, maybe it's going to be during this time period. This one has a crown, leaf crown, either carved into the tree or kind of just, there you go, floating there. Yeah. There's redwood, yew, and linden. I'm not going to show all the cards. It's just going to take way too long, and I don't want this to be too long. And I evidently like to show decks very slowly, so I do kind of run at my own pace, and I don't want to bore people. I really love the leaf section. I like that it's not all about the full trees, even though I know a lot of people like that. I love maple's probably my favorite. I love the deep colors and tones. I love the bowl of syrup or maple sap, whatever. It's a sugar maple in here. Come on. There we go. There you go. The detail, the curve, the movement, I love it. Totally fall. This next one still gives the impression of the horse chestnut as well. The details are just so lovely. And it's not, I'm not going to say they're all pale, but it's just really well done. I just love the details. And if you can't see them all, I'm sorry, but there's such nice details in this. It has an illustrative look. I love that kind of look. Here's the ginkgo. Holly. Again, here's like a seasonal card. A celebratory card. Juniper. Eucalyptus. I love the didgeridoo. The didgeridoo right here. Love it. One of my favorite brands. That's one of their main instruments in their music. Okay. White mulberry has the yin yang symbol mixed in. Shows the blossoms and fruit, maybe. Mulberry, yeah. This eastern cottonwood reminds me of spring or a windy season. Can you see it? Yeah, such fine little details, but in person you can definitely see them very clearly. And then elm, nice tall tree with some cows nearby. I love that there's like animals doing their thing and not too posed. Okay, and then finally, I guess I did show you most of the cards, but I'm getting through it a little bit quicker, which is good. Okay, so this is the section called, okay, so roots was being, trunk was healing, leaf was wisdom section, and then the last one in this dark red with, it has like berries and flower or blossoms and seeds, okay, mixed in this little vine border. Okay, that is the theme for it, and it's called power. And that makes sense to me because if we think of power as the energy we take in, like say the sunlight or the the fluids and things that you get when this, and then they give off the fruit and the nuts and the seeds and things that we eat from them. So fruitarians probably really love this if you love fruit. So sweet orange. I love that rich tones. Here is hawthorn. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so you can read it. There you go. Hawthorn. There you go. European beech. I really do love, there's like a little mouse or critter up in the root area, bottom of the tree. And then over here is the nuts or leaves or, yeah, blossoms. There's even little ladybug crawling around in all that. Leaf. Yeah, I love the little details. So this is the European beech. Here is apple. Sorry, my lighting is not the best here. There you go. Apple. And it's like smoky above us and stuff. Here's olive. There you go. Olive. I love the owl. Its little home. I love olives in general. I thought that was well done. Date palm. That bird is gorgeous. So cute. Cherry. Oh, I don't like cherries, but I think the trees are lovely. They provide awesome shade, except for the season when they drop cherries on you. My old church is in a backyard that has a dominant cherry tree, giving us lovely shading for rituals during the summer. Here's pomegranate. I love the symbols caught in there, the star, and then you have the starry night sky. Talking about warmer seasons, and plus with the blossoms, this is more like summer feel, I think. Even if it's a summer night sky. Here is black elder. Love the look of the blossoms there. And the tea, giving you a hint at how most will probably interact with that. And then the last one is the giant redwood. The stag. Lovely. And I think you get I don't know what's edible from that. Let's check and see what is edible from the giant redwood, shall we? And so I think the tree that's on the cover is the sagi tree. Means sacredness, and I don't know where it comes from. I'd have to look that up. But okay, so we're gonna look up this giant redwood to see what is edible from it. So it's gonna be back. It's the last tree. Okay, what is edible? Bears large cones. Okay. Native to the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. No wonder it looks familiar to me. I was kind of raised in both northern and southern California. And I've traveled down over the mountains, the Sierra Nevada, quite a few times. Okay. Bears large cones, extremely long-lived, grows to about 28 feet, which is 85 meters tall. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, the giant groves and the redwoods grow in California were once the province of Native Americans, who would undoubtedly have revered the trees, although details of their mythological significance have now been lost. That is so sad. I hate it when cultural knowledge and their spirituality is lost due to, well, you can probably guess. I hate that. The trees were an important source of medicine, and today the United Huma Nation of Louisiana uses infusions of the inner bark to treat jaundice. That's really interesting. So it is a healing tree. Awesome. There's an upright and reverse meaning. Okay, that's the thing I wanted to show you, y'all. And I'm not going to just focus on this. Now, this is a colored book. Each section is colored. This is the flower, berries, and seeds section. So it is that in that dark red on the top and bottom border in this page. It even says flower, fruit and seeds, and power section. Okay? On that whole section, on every page, no matter what card it is, in those, I believe there's 10 in each section. It has the name that you see on the cards, like say sweet orange, right? And then it has its meaning right under it, zest, and then it has its scientific name under that. And then it's the diva or the spirit of that tree, sweet orange diva message. There's that. And then there's talk, some cultural talk, how it's used, whatever, main paragraph. And then right here is some basic information like where is it native to, what kind of fruit or flowers or whatever useful is used from this one. And then at the end it tells you how tall it grows in both feet and meters. Okay? So, and then in the last one it wasn't colored. They had a main picture in gray and white, but they did not have pictures. They had the card shape on the bottom near the upright and reverse, but now that you can see it upright and you can see it reversed. And I kind of like that because when I'm studying a deck, I often do that. I'll take the card, I'll go to the page, I'll hold it upright as I'm reading most of the info, and then when it gets to an upright meaning or a reverse meaning, I will have it upright as I read the upright, and then I will reverse it as I read the reverse as a way to help implant the info into my brain. Because I am a little bit of a visual learner, a little bit of an auditory, and I'm very physical in some ways. I love reading though. Okay, and each section, as I said, is a different color, which is nice. So the leaf section starts out with green, the flower, fruit, and seed starts in this red tones, dark red, maybe even a burgundy. Blue is the roots, and brown, this kind of bright light brown, is the trunk section. Healing, and that's all labeled. The very beginning of the book has an introduction. Everything that's a picture is colored now. It has a section called Tuning into the Trees, which includes getting to know the trees and the different characters. Even this is labeled for each section, although all of this section before the different, before it gets into the different parts of the deck is green. Okay? Different characters, sensing tree energy, that's all getting to know the trees. The next section is divas and nature spirits, how to use the oracle, using cards in conjunction with the book, working with the deck, spreads and readings. There are 2 spreads that I notice, or actually more. There's a single card, a 3 card, past, present, future spread, basic. And then you have a horseshoe spread that is now in color and just shows the backs of the cards and the positions. And they give you the spread, and then they give you a sample reading and what it would read like if you got it. And they even include inverse meanings and upright meanings in the sample. And continuing, that's just the main pictures. At the end, I think this might be the area that might be updated. I don't know. I don't remember when I was looking at the videos. Here is the nature sanctuaries. They cover Africa, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Germany, United Kingdom, North America. They cover Canada and the United States. They even mention California, and I think that's because of the redwoods, giant sequoias in the redwoods. And South America, they have Brazil and Suriname. I don't know. Here's that last section. That's the one I'm not sure on. Alright, so they have some cool detailed information, website access, that kind of thing. There is a bibliography and further reading, and they give you like the power of myth, working with angels, fairies, and nature spirits with William Bloom, the Diva Handbook by Nathaniel Adams. Some of these go back into the 90s. There's one, it looks like goes all the way back to the year I was born. The Trees in the Wild by Gerald Wilkinson. Evidently that was printed in 1976, the year I was born. So a diverse access of information. I love that. Useful websites. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. And then an index, which is helpful, and acknowledgments. This is paperback, as I said, and it has a really nice matte. This reminds me of the finish on the Hidden, not exactly, but similar to that Hidden Realms Tarot. I like that. It's not glossy, shiny. It's only a little bit of shine because I'm outdoors, and that's just surface of a book. So, let me see if I got this upright and kind of, yeah. So I really love the color code method of the 4 sections of the deck. I understand basically why they chose the colors for the different, it makes sense that many berries are red, so why not a deep red? Leaves are green, the trunk is browned, and water is where in the grounding, the area where they get water is from below in their roots, so that makes sense. And I'm not, like I said, really fond of yellow, but I really do like this because I think they're just going with, like, say, the fall leaves tones, and yeah, I love that look. I like that kind of leaf collage look, and it's very inclusive. So there it is. I already read a little bit of that giant gritwood, so I'm not going to try to pull a card. You got an impression. Don't want to make this too long. I hope you will consider this deck if you don't have a tree one. I really like this because it isn't just the Celtic tree. There are quite a few different Celtic tree decks out there. Not that I'm knocking them, but it's nice to get something a little different that's inclusive of other cultures, because I read for lots of different kinds of people from lots of different cultures in the past, and I hope to continue still reading for people. So if you like this video, please do like or even dislike. Please leave any kind of comments of what you think about the deck and the changes. If you know some things about it that I don't from the first edition to this one, I'd love to hear about it, and I'm sure others would like to know about it too. This deck, even at full price, was just about $20. And I know from both the website Barnes & Noble and Amazon, you can get it for about $3 and change. And yeah, I think it's just a nice little deck. I love the size. I think it's going to be very usable. And I even love the tuck box because I feel like it's not going to be hard to work with. And the little ribbon addition is such a nice touch. Whether you keep it upright like a book or you lay it on its side and then maybe pile some other decks on top or whatever, I think having that slider is a really nice touch, and I like that they didn't use too much excessive plastic for wrapping. There was an outer plastic wrapping, that is common. I wish we could find a way to package our stuff without so much plastic wrapping, but that's just me. And I don't really think there's a fix for that. Okay, I hope you found this interesting. Again, leave comments, whatever. I really would like some feedback on how you guys like my reviews, or even any tips, anything like that. Have a great week, and yeah, it's going into fall, folks, and we're going to be seeing all kinds of tree action right now, so enjoy it. Spend some time outdoors. Don't just hide because it's getting cooler. This is kind of like that medium temperature time that you should be starting to enjoy, and I plan to enjoy it a lot. This is one of my favorite seasons. So, see y'all.